Hey, welcome. It's Miss V. How y'all doing tonight? It's Saturday. Well, it's Saturday for me. I'm not sure where you are, but it's Saturday. It is actually 4:10 in the morning. I should be sleeping, but I'm not. I decided I wanted to record something, so here I am. I hope y'all are doing well. As usual, wine of choice for me is Yellowtail Chardonnay. Yeah, this is my shit right here. I love this wine. Whatever your choice of wine, whatever it is, whip it out. Okay, take out your glasses. Here's mine. I ordered this from a spot that I found on Instagram when I opened up my Ms. V's page. It's Ms. V's 2014 on Instagram. When I opened up my page, because a lot of the candles that I make are in jars. Um, a lot of glass places started checking out my page and they started following me. And this Aura Glass was one of them. I saw this on their website and it blew my mind. I love this. I talk about it in my other videos because this is my glass of choice. You put it on a flat surface and it aerates. You know how you twirl your glass in the you twirl your wine in the glass so that just gets the air in it. This will do it if you put it on a flat surface. I love it, love it, love it. If you look at my videos, you'll see how it works. Also, if you look on my Instagram page, I do have stories. I always post stories. I've been trying to be a little bit more active with that. So you'll see how those work. So always tune into my stories because I always have, different stuff that I'm doing going on with that. Speaking of which, now, if you look at my earlier video, well, actually, it's my very first video. The very first video that I posted is a two-parter, and it's actually a test run that I did because I wanted to, I knew that I wanted to start posting videos, and I said, you know what, let me do a test run. So I did the test run. In that test run, I was talking about these new molds that I got. I actually, at that time, I hadn't tried to use them yet. I was looking at them. They looked a little intimidating and they didn't come with instructions. I'll speak about that on the video. So fast forward to now. I did make one of them. In the video, I have one that's a ball and then I have one that's a flame. The one that's the flame, that's a tricky mold. I'm still figuring out a way to perfect it so that I can pour the wax in without it leaking. Yeah, it leaks. It's really frustrating. So I haven't figured that one out yet, but the ball one I actually did. Excuse me while I get out of camera for a second so that I could go and get it. Now, this is burning. The flame is a little high. So it should be clipped, but yeah, this is what it looks like. Okay, I love it. The scent is Midsummer's Night. It smells so good. I call it my sexy time. This is just one of them. I have a couple of them that I consider sexy time aromas. And I bought this glass from a dollar store, so you don't have to go crazy. If you want, you can put water in here. So this way, especially as it starts to burn down, you don't want it to burn naked against the glass and crack it and cause all kinds of mayhem and stuff like that. So that's the result of what I experimented in. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to start working with pillar candles because I had always been working with the jars, and I started off with pillar candles when I got the first kit. I started off with pillars. I got into the jars because I thought, you know what? Let me just do the jars because those are the candles that I always liked. But then I got bored. I wanted to do some pillars. So I bought those. I love the way that came out. I'm trying to figure out now pricing in regard to that. Another thing that I'm trying to figure out pricing is, along with that particular candle, the pillar wax allowed me the freedom to make some other stuff. I started thinking about, since I have the pillar candles, I bought some molds because I wanted to get into something different. One of the things I wanted to get into was using burners. I know some people that have burners that burn like the little wax melts, and also the place that I buy my oils from, and the place I buy my wax from, they have little wax melts. They usually send me little samples of stuff like that. So I always saw them and I didn't know what they were for, and then I found out what they were for, and I was like, oh, that's cute. Didn't think about them anymore, and then I started thinking about them, and I was like, well, wait a minute, the pillow wax makes those. So here is the one that I bought. I bought one of these. The idea is you turn it on. Isn't this pretty? There's a dish at the top. It's a ceramic dish. And you put the melt. This is my melt that I made. The scent is Jamaica Me Crazy. This smells so good. It's very fruity. Oh gosh, it's so, you have to smell it. It's so hard to describe, but it's very fruity. If you like the smell of fruit, this is something that you want. It's tropical too. It reminds me of a beach. I think about Jamaica when I smell this. But anyway, this is one of the tarts that I made, and the see the design is a lotus flower. It's really pretty. You put it inside of this dish, and you put it on top of here. And as time goes by, the wax melts. You start to smell the aroma from the wax. So that's one of the things that I'm also doing, right? I love it. I love making the tarts. I want to say almost better than making the candles in a sense, because it's faster. I can make more at one time. I can be really, really productive. If I get a quick order, hey Val, hey V, I need something tomorrow. Can you make me 6 tarts of so-and-so scent for tomorrow? Yeah, I can do that. I can do that really, really quickly. So I like that idea. So I also started making the floatable candles. You can float it in a dish of water. I burn these. The burn time on the floatable candles, this scent is cashmere, is 3 hours. And also on the tart, this one is lavender, the lotus flower. And wait, I have a shell went around here somewhere. Here we go. This white linen, and it's the shell design. But yeah, the burn time on both the tarts and the floatable candles is 3 hours. So if you want some more information on those, like I said, MZVEEZ2014 at Gmail. I also have at Gmail. I also have an Instagram page, MZVEEZ2014 on Instagram. I have a Facebook page. It's just Ms. V's. It doesn't have the 2014, but you will see my logo. So just check me out. Ask me for one of my lists, my scent list, and I'll send it to you. You can also leave a comment here. Let me know some ideas or some questions that you have, and I can answer them for you. All right. So that's just a couple of the things that's going on with me in regard to Ms. V's. So, like I said, I'm in the research and development stage of this. I want to see what's going to happen. I need to find out, exactly what I'm going to charge. What I'm thinking of is making them in pouches, because you could buy these individually, but then every time you turn around, you would be buying one, which is cool. But if you are somewhere that's not, if you're not hand to hand, if not person to person. If you have to mail it, that's going to be a lot of postage for you. So what I'm thinking of is also trying to think of what I would charge for bulk. I think that would be the best thing. I'll also have little individual prices. I've been looking at Yankee Candle and different places to see what they do. So I'll be going in comparison to what they're doing, because, I don't want to charge more than what they're doing for sure. I definitely want to be competition for them. One thing that I noticed too, right? Like this burner thing, this is all new for me. I've always been a candle person. So in the testing stage of the Jamaica Me Crazy, I burned one of the melts, right? So once you put it in here, this thing gets really, really hot. So just remember, don't touch it until after it cools off, right? So once that happens, this pops right out. This, it still smells really, really good. I burned it again, actually, right when I was getting ready to make this video, and it smelled up my whole room here. So it actually has longer burning time, because the original burning time was 3 hours, and that's when I shut off the burner, because I was concerned about whether this would burn or not, because I've seen, well, not seen, I've heard of some folks where they've had oil burners, and I know that when it gets down to a certain level, that oil will burn. It'll leave an unpleasant smell. I wasn't sure if that happened with this, so I shut the burner off, and that's what popped out. And then I said, well, you know what? It still smelled good before. Let me see if it will still smell good when I burn it again. And it did. So that's something that, you can think about, because it actually will add to the burning time. The original burning time is 3 hours. So, you can let it burn steady for 3 hours, and then you're left with this. If I burn this thing, I don't know how long it will burn. That's another thing to research, right? But just something to think about. Yeah, but those are things that I'm, doing. This is white linen, the floater, and the melt. Well, these are both melts. I also made these without the candle in it. So this is both melts. Like I said, I'm thinking about pricing for that. This is the Jamaica Me Crazy floating candle and the melt. Lavender floating candle and the melt. And then I have cashmere. I only made the floating candles in this. Cashmere smells really, really good. It's a really, really soft scent. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. That's another sexy time scent. So that's what's going on with me with Ms. V's. So I wanted to talk about something else tonight. Excuse me while I get comfortable, okay? So, excuse me while I sip too, all right? Join me. So, I went to a health fair at my job. It was earlier this year. And the day that I went, it just so happened to be, I guess, the right day, because I had a host of things that were up with me that not caused alarm, but it just brought some attention to some things that maybe I needed to get looked at. So, out of all of the different tests that I got run, and that, excuse me, that I have to go on doctor's appointments for, is a vision test. When I first started at my job, that was 2 years ago, I did not have a primary care physician, because when I left my last job, my primary care physician that was there retired. So I was neglectful, my bad. I didn't get another doctor. I should have. Excuse me while I drink some water. So, coworker told me about her doctor. So I went to this doctor. This doctor is thorough AF because I've been on a lot of different appointments from his initial assessment of me. Right? Not because everything, there's a lot of things wrong with me, but also because I hadn't seen a doctor in over 2 years. I am over the age of 50. I am a former smoker, nicotine smoker. I want to clarify because some folks do get salty if you don't clarify. I went through a phase once where one of the other times that I quit smoking, I said that I was a non-smoker, and someone actually got offended and said, well, no, because you still smoke marijuana. And yes, I do. So sorry about that. I don't want to offend anybody, but I am not a nicotine smoker anymore. So there's a lot of things that, went into his decision to send me on these different appointments. One of them was my eyes. Since I have started my job, my eyesight has gotten a little worse. I've noticed that there's been some changes, especially in the last 2 years. I got my eyes checked. Once my insurance kicked in, that's the first thing I did because I knew that my eyes had been different from that point. I didn't have an appointment until that year before I started my job. So I was like, it was about that time anyway. Got my eyes checked. Got some new glasses, which were these. No, not when I first started. When I first started, I saw these and I wanted them, but I got a different pair. Within the last 2 years, my eyesight has gone through some stuff. So these actually I got last year. I got my eyes checked again. Noticed that there was a difference in, when they give you that eye test, the different alphabet that's on that chart. So when I went to the doctor, my regular doctor, he did a whole battery of tests. He did an eye test in his office. So the medical assistant, did the test for me, and it made me think seriously that they were messing with me because the letters were so blurry. It was unbelievable. Never have I seen my eyes struggle so much to see like that. And I was like, wow, my eyes are worse than I thought they were. But you know what? His equipment was kind of old, so I'm starting to wonder. But anyway, hence all of that to say, I have an eye doctor appointment coming up next month. All right. So it's all right though, because you know what? What the hey? Let's just see what happens. So that's how I was feeling until about 2 weeks ago. Woke up one morning, getting ready for work. Now, you know how sometimes you wake up and you have, stuff in the corner of your eye. And sometimes it breaks loose and it floats around in your eye and it's really, really annoying because you just got to try to work it into a position where you can pull it out. Well, I thought that was what was in my eye because I saw something floating around there. But then I noticed that as I moved my eye, it would move. It was a dark spot. It's still there. It's not as bad as it was when I first saw it. I see it when I move my eye around. Now, I'm a person that's really squeamish about my eyes. When I got my first pair of contacts, I remember my dad went with me. We went to a Cohen's downtown Brooklyn on Fulton near J Street. And I remember that the guy, the eye doctor guy, well, I don't know if you call them eye doctors, the ones that work in like Cohen and stuff like that. Are they eye doctors? I don't know. Yeah, because I forgive my ignorance on that. But anyway, he wanted to put the contact in for me. I was really nervous about that. And I was like, well, dude, actually, you know what? I'm really squeamish about my eyes. I can do it. I know how, I can figure it out. because it's really not that difficult. Excuse me. And he insisted, he wanted to put them in. He said, well, I know what I'm doing. I'll put it in really good. He did. But it's just that I am squeamish about my eyes. I could have did that, dude. But I just, that's just to explain how squeamish I am. Another example, before I even realized that before we, as in my family, realized that I needed glasses, I started getting headaches. I was in junior high around this time. I think around the time I just started junior high. So I was around 11 years old, and 10 or 11. And I started getting headaches. Gosh, my head was just hurting all the time. So with the insurance that my mom had, it was GHI. She found a doctor that was in the neighborhood. And we had just moved to this. No, had we just moved to? No, we hadn't yet. We hadn't yet moved to the house. That was in high school. But so we were in. Anyway, I ended up going to this eye doctor my mom took me to. He was an older man. Yes, I was in high school. I remember, because he was in the neighborhood. He was in Ridgewood, Queens. It was a place that we walked to. I remember now because we used to live right on the verge of where Brooklyn turned into Queens. It was where the J train was, and his office was on Ridgewood Avenue. I remember that. 9th grade, high school. Because we had just gotten to that house. So anyway, we go there. This guy he was old, so his equipment was old, right? So imagine this right here. This is a corkscrew. Imagine this without the arms. So see this part, the skinny part? It was skinnier. It was like, about that slim, and this part right here was curved. I saw that. And then he wanted me to lay down on this thing in his office. My mom was there, and he told her to hold my arms. Now, the whole time when I saw that thing to lay down and I saw that instrument, and he told my mom to hold my arms, all of those things are red flags. And I was like, oh, no, 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 no. And I fought, and I fought, and I fought, and I saw the poor man get frustrated. The poor doctor, I remember, he was an old man. He was all frustrated. He started kicking. He was like, come on, just lay down. And I was like, no, 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 no. My mom was like, no, just lay down. And I was like, no, no, no. He never did put that thing on my eyeball. I think what it was supposed to do, if I remember correctly, was it was supposed to measure my eyeball or something like that. It was, look, whatever the hell it was supposed to do, it did not do it for me. But anyway, I just wanted to get some kind of input. Does anyone have any kind of idea what this could possibly be, these black spots? And it's, thank goodness, it's only in my right eye. But like I said, I'm squeamish about my eyes. And I know that even though there's a lot of advancement in eye surgery, there's, laser surgery now. My mom had laser surgery, I remember. My sister has had laser surgery because she had cataracts. So was it? No. Yes, cataracts. I'm I don't even want to think about it. I really don't, but it's a real possibility. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to know from anybody. Leave a comment, please. Tell me what you think. If you had that experience, tell me what your experience was. Are you squeamish about your eyes? What were your feelings when you found out what it was? What was it for you? Tell me. All right. I'm really curious because my appointment is not until next month, the 29th of next month. So I need to figure out, like, how to get my mind. I don't know. I'm in a sense of unknown. I just feel like I know that I'm going to have some kind of procedure done. And that leaves me really uncomfortable. So anyway, guys, thank you for letting me share. I appreciate it. Again, Ms. V's, check me out. I will try to post again something else, and we will talk about some other stuff, and I'll let you know about how my R&D is going on my tarts and floatable candle adventure. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just start giving these away to folks. Yeah, while I'm researching them. Because I know that they burn. What I will suggest though is with these, do not burn them. Burn them in a place where it's free from anything. And I just need to say that because people, they will sue for anything. And I just didn't want people to get an idea. Yeah, burn it away from anything that is flammable. It's a floatable, so make it float. If you want to burn this on something flat and not on water, I would suggest you also make sure that it's not close to anything. Make sure that you set this on something that you don't mind melted wax being on. A dish like this, if you wanted to melt this floatable candle in this dish, you could do that. Because guess what? It'll just melt. And all you got to do is wait till it cools off and they'll pop right out. Remember that. All right. So just stuff to think about, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening. Again, let me know what your experiences are. Okay. Leave a comment. All right. Hit my subscribe button so this way when I do post, you guys will be alerted. Hit that bell too for the alerts. And hit the likes because that would be nice. And don't be mean to me when you leave your comments. All right. It would be nice to hear some nice comments. Leave me some suggestions on other things that you would like for me to discuss, because otherwise I'll just think of my own stuff and I'll try to think of things that are interesting to everyone. I am very much into current events, so at some point you'll get to hear my opinion on what I think is going on out here in Hollywood, because there's some real crazy stuff going on. Kanye's going on some rants, but I think it has to do with the album. Maybe it has to do with his mental illness. Maybe he's off his meds. Who knows? But anyway, all right. I will talk to you guys later. All right. Talk to you later. Hit me up. Ask me for my catalog and my set list, and I will also keep you abreast of what's going on with my R&D is for my tarts and my floatables. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Ciao.